It's hard to believe, considering how poorly the Cowboys and the Bears have played the past 2 weeks, that the winner of tonight's game in Dallas is going to be 3-1 at the quarter pole of the season and tied for first place in their division. But this is a tough game. I've got to tell you, I think the toughest one so far for Monday night. I personally think the best bet on Monday's card is over in baseball, so that's where I'm heading. But here on the video report, I'm going to break down the Cowboys-Bears contest in depth for you and give you my suggestion and my free pick on the contest. Hi everyone, Al DeMarco here. This, of course, your Monday video report. I've got a money-saving discount coupon code that'll save you $16 coming up in just a moment. That'll save you $16 again on a single purchase today. And we're going to run down who's hot and who's not, and then just a couple of quick thoughts about line moves as well, how they apply to a side and a total on your Sunday card, and influenced whether a handicapper won, lost, or pushed with those plays as well. First, though, congratulations going out to Jeff Benton. What a great call yesterday. One and only underdog NFL Game of the Year, cashing in with the Carolina Panthers, and you know how close the Panthers came to winning that game outright. He has now won each of the past 4 days, looking for a winning day number 5 in a row today with his second biggest NFL release of the season. 75-dime Monday Night Linemakers Lament Game of the Year on the Bears-Cowboys side. Keep in mind, guys, he is on a 77-56 run with Monday night side and totals over the past 6 years. And tonight's 75-dime play is 25% stronger than that 50-dime underdog shocker he delivered with Missouri outright on Saturday in college football. And those plays he's 4-0 with in college football. Tonight's play is stronger as he seeks winning day number 5 in a row. Shawn Michaels going for it once more. Not only does he have NFL winner number 20 out of 28. And remember, Shawn is not an everyday handicapper, so that's 20 out of 28 over the past 2 seasons combined. But it also happens to be his 100-dime NFL winner number 22 out of 27 on the Chicago-Dallas side. 100-dime NFL winner number 22 out of 27. 21-5 run with those 100-dime plays in the NFL the past 4 seasons, including 7-2 this year, preseason and regular season combined, as he scored yesterday with a 2-team teaser, cashing in with the Broncos and the Atlanta Falcons. And was that key score by the Falcons in the closing seconds so important, considering anybody that had the Falcons in the teaser yesterday, as Shawn did. So $1 bettors, by the way, have won $10,850 in football the past 3 years following his advice. That's college and pro combined. And also, he has had 22 total picks, 22 picks in football and baseball combined in the months of August and September. For the last 2 months, $10 bettors following his advice have won a cool $5,075, so not too shabby there. Now, let me talk about Chris Jordan for a second. Guys, $1 bettors in the NFL are up over $13,800 since 2007. They won $5,170 last year. They've already won over $1,500 this year. He has NFL winner number 6 out of 8 going today, and it's a big play. 500-star winner number 6 out of 7. Sunday, of course, he hit a big play with Houston, blasting Tennessee. Now, let's talk about a couple of line moves and how they affected games yesterday. You know, I think one of the biggest misconceptions people have in the industry, gamblers out there, is that games are graded by the final line. Well, that's total malarkey. I've told you that before, because you aren't betting the final line. You're not waiting until the minute before kickoff to place your wager when lines often go crazy. And in fact, generally, if you follow the rule of thumb that I've always gone by, that you bet favorites early and you bet underdogs late, you're going to do pretty damn well. And it makes sense because the public is always enamored with the favorites, so you want to bet them early before too much weight is put on them. Now let's talk about Scott Delaney. On Saturday, he hit his one and only 100-dime college football underdog game of the year. I mean, it was like he had the newspaper a day in advance. You know, I mean, you talk about being a prophet. He said that his team would win by 3 touchdowns at least. And then he went out and gave you Air Force winning by 21 points over Colorado State. Well, yesterday, Scott had his one and only 100-dime Sunday night game of the year on the Eagles and Giants. and he had the Giants in this contest. Now, if you go to our scoreboard from yesterday, you go to most scoreboards, you're going to see a number of 2 in that contest. But here's the reality. Scott released that play like at 6:56 a.m. Eastern Time, okay, on Sunday morning. At the time, it was a 2-point line. Well, by 11:15 Eastern Time, at most sports books in Vegas here and also offshore, that line moved up to 2.5. And then it stayed at 2.5 until very late in the day when it eventually came down to 2. About, maybe that was about 7 o'clock or so. I'm sorry, it stayed to 2.5 until about 20 minutes before kickoff. So kickoff was about 8:25. So around 8 o'clock Eastern Time, then it moved down to 2. So it started at 2. Most of the day it was a 2.5. And then it dropped down to 2. And in some places it dropped down to 1.5. So I'm the guy who grades all the plays at the site. I told Scott that even though I believe, since he was up live with the play so early, and for so many hours it was a 2.5-point number, that you have to take a push on the contest. I think that's the only fair thing you can do accounting-wise. And he agreed, because let's face it, probably 90-95%, excuse me, guys, of the customers out there who had the play yesterday got down on the Giants, getting the 2.5, and they probably won. And some of them probably pushed. So in this particular case, we take the push, but it doesn't obscure the fact that tonight he's still going for football winner number 8 out of 9, and it's a 50-dime play on the Chicago-Dallas side. Then we get to the case of Craig Davis, who, he has just had a phenomenal run. Today he's going for winning day number 16 out of 20, and a $10 bettor has won $4,165 in the past 19 days. On Sunday, he had his 50-dime winner, number 18 out of 22, and number 6 in a row was his NFC total of the year on Washington and Tampa Bay to stay under. What crazy line movements in that game. Some places early on Sunday morning, you could get that game at 48.5 points. Then, middle of the morning, Sunday, it was like 47.5. When he released the play. Then it dipped to 47, then it dipped to 46.5 by 9:30 Eastern Time, and it remained there until it dropped to about 45.5 around 11:15 Eastern Time, when the news came out with the 2 Washington players getting hurt prior to the game, yada, 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 yada. And you saw how the game finished in the fourth quarter in the closing minutes with all the scoring, and you saw where the total ended up. So again, as a guy who grades the plays at the site, the only fair thing to do is to give him a push on the game. Yeah, most of his customers probably got the under and scored big on it. But you just can't be sure, and that's the key here. If I can't be 100% sure that a game, the line, was played by everybody at a certain point in a close game where the point spread or the total was right there near the number, you got to call it a push. It's the only fair thing to do. And again, it doesn't obscure the fact that Craig is still going for winning day number 16 out of 20. And tonight he has his 30-time teaser winner number 5 in a row on Chicago-Dallas. Remember, number 4 was this past Thursday night when he mixed college football and NFL combined. The Cleveland Browns plus 19 against Baltimore, and Washington plus 14 against Stanford, a game the Huskies won outright. FYI, in the NFL since last season, $10 bettors have won $8,085 following Craig's advice. Now, let's talk about the losers on Sunday. And really, the only guy I have to really point out is Anthony Red. Had his 100-dime winner number 7 out of 10 yesterday. Oh, boy. I know the feeling. When you're on the wrong side of the game, you just want a mercy killing, and that's pretty much what Anthony got yesterday, because he was on the Kansas City Chiefs. The only good thing you can say about a game like that is that it was over before the first quarter was over. You know what I mean? You had no chance, and it was a loser, so he went down in flames dramatically with that big play yesterday. Okay, guys, let me get your money-saving discount coupon code. It is going to be an easy one for you. It is going to be 15 Monday. 15 Monday, and that will save you $15 off a single purchase today. 15MONDAY. 15MONDAY, 15 Monday, and that will save you $15 off a single purchase today. Enter that when prompted in your shopping cart, and that's all you've got to do. Let's talk about this game tonight. Dallas was a 4-point favorite a couple of days ago, moved down to 3.5. Now Cowboys are -3 as I do this report here at 11 o'clock Vegas time. And the total is sitting right around 41.5 points. I think the biggest factor that is going to affect this game is the status of whether or not Matt Forte is going to play. Listen, When Matt Forte is in the lineup, the Bears are a different team. He's an excellent receiver out of the backfield, great running back. I told you a couple weeks ago when I talked about the Thursday night game with the Packers and the Bears that the Bears went out and made a nice move by signing former Raider Michael Bush. He's a good change of a pace back. He's a good backup, but I never have been impressed with him as a starting running back. And if Bush is going to carry the load tonight, I don't like the Bears. If Matt Forte's in there, I do like the Bears. Now, either way, this is a game that you got to buy the half point. I'm a firm believer that when the line crosses 3, 4, 7, sometimes 10, you buy the half point, whether going up or down. In this case tonight, where you've got a line of 3 even, you're talking about a 120 buy off the 3 for that extra half point. And even if it wasn't an even game tonight, you're looking at maybe $1.30 price. Otherwise, sometimes as high as $1.35. Anytime we can pay pennies on the dollar to slightly edge the line in our favor, it just makes economic sense to do so. Now, that only applies, however, if you're a guy like me that likes to play one game a night. If you're playing 7 games on a Sunday, you can't afford to be paying half-point prices all over the place because the VIG is going to kill you. But you put the power of money to work for you, and I think this is the case tonight. So here's the deal. Cowboys look so damn impressive. Tony Romo so impressive in that opening win against the Giants on the road in the season opener. My God, they were pathetic at Seattle, falling down 10-0 because of special team miscues, totally dominated by the Seahawks defense in Seattle. Understood? You see how tough Seattle plays at home. Last week, no excuse, however, for just barely getting by Tampa Bay, 16-10. So past 2 weeks, the Cowboys have scored a total of 23 points against Seattle and Tampa Bay. And this Chicago defense, you better believe that Julius Peppers and company are going to bring the pressure on Tony Romo, who's playing behind a lousy offensive line. That's the bottom line. Now, for the Bears, they open up with that home blowout win against Chicago. Cutler and the Bears look pathetic in that Thursday night game against Green Bay. You remember, he was sacked 7 times. He had 4 interceptions. The biggest contact he had that night was when he took a shot at his offensive left tackle, Jordan Webb. Just a horrendous game, and he wasn't much better the next game out, which was against St. Louis last Sunday. A game that the Bears managed to win at home, where Cutler had 2 more interceptions and only completed 17 of 31 passes for 183 yards. Do the math, guys. That's 6 interceptions past 2 games, and he also plays behind a lousy offensive line. 2 weeks ago in that Thursday night game at Lambeau, he had Clay Matthews in his face all week long. Jay Cutler, tonight, you're going to be introduced to DeMarcus Ware in your face all night long. Again, tough game. I liked the Cowboys earlier when it seemed like Matt Forte was going to be out. Now that Forte might be playing, and it's a game-time decision, so how are you supposed to guess in there? I could see going with the Bears in this contest. Now, time to make a decision, right? Cowboys have been a dreadful play at home here, covering just 5 of their last 17 games. The key for them tonight is to give Tony Romo some offensive support, to get DeMarco Murray running. Big game against the Giants. He's been held in check the past 2 weeks. I happen to like the Dallas Cowboys in this contest. Like is the operative word here, guys. So I would take Dallas and by the half point down to 2.5. I think this could be a 24-20 game. It could be right there, right around this number. So I like Dallas. That would be my advice. Would I play the game? Absolutely not. Again, I think the best bet is in baseball here this evening. Well, that'll do it, guys. Best of luck to you all, and I will catch you again on Tuesday when, hopefully by the time we have the Tuesday video report up and live and rolling, I'll have the results of this week's Fantasy Football League contest in conjunction with DraftStreet.com, where the first place winner was going to get $300. Remember, with DraftStreet.com, these contests that I run every single week, which are free, they're determined after the Monday night game. You don't have to wait till the end of December, guys. So good luck to you all, and I'll catch you again tomorrow.